First Thursday of the year. Hope everyone is doing well. JGoodWithSports here. And listen, the first thing we are going to start with is, Damar Hamlin and his situation. To my understanding, he's still in critical condition, but I guess he was showing some positive signs as of late, so it's been very encouraging. So, prayers are still with him and his family, as I guess the whole NFL world wants to make sure this man is all right. And speaking of Mr. Hamlin, last time I mentioned, he had a toy drive, a GoFundMe for that, and I think in the first 30 minutes, $300,000 was donated. And so now they're basically saying that it's nearing $7 million. $7 million. With the largest donation coming from co-owner Jim Irsay. And Jim Irsay has been a figure who has been in headlines for the wrong reasons. So this here is definitely a positive light for him and Damar here for that one. So yeah, just shout out to everybody that's able to donate for this cause. There's usually always a silver lining in a lot of different bad situations. And it seems like this one is the silver lining for this one, that these kids are definitely going to be very excited with all the funds that has come in from this situation. So yeah, definitely prayers for Damar Hamlin and his family, and we all hope that he pulls through here. All right, so just other news around the sports world for now. The Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is announced every year right before the Super Bowl. But we have the 15 finalists. And I guess normally a maximum of 5 modern day players can get elected every year. And so the finalists that we have right now is Joe Thomas, Devin Hester, Zach Thomas, Darrelle Revis, Patrick Willis, Willie Anderson, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Dwight Freeney, Andre Johnson, Jared Allen, DeMarcus Ware, Darren Woodson, Albert Lewis, and Rondé Barber. Now, 13 of those names I know quite well because I grew up watching 13 of those names. Joe Thomas, left tackle that used to play for the Cleveland Browns. That is a surefire first ballot Hall of Fame. He will get in. So that leaves 4. Dwight Freeney was a monster with that spin move. Could nobody hardly guard that man. Devin Hester, that's enough said. He should have got in last year, in my opinion. Zach Thomas was a very productive player with the Miami Dolphins. Revis Island, my gosh. Patrick Willis was a monster during the Niners days, which a lot of that team wasn't really that good, but he was outstanding. Torrey Holt and Reggie Wayne, they kind of like both one and the same for me, but both of them are very, very, very productive players in their prime. Andre Johnson was a monster. Jared Allen was a monster. DeMarcus Ware, my gosh. He's going to get in. DeMarcus Ware will get in. Darren Woodson, he was a monster. Rondé Barber, very, very, very good player. I don't know if he gets in, though. I don't know. Yeah, he did win a Super Bowl. And in his prime, he was really good. I don't know, though. That's tough. This list is tough. All right, but if I had to pick 5 from this list, it would be Joe Thomas. It would be Devin Hester. It would be Patrick Willis. Darrelle Revis. And it'd be DeMarcus Ware. Those are my 5. Those are the 5 that I'm picking that should get in this year. That should get in. So yeah, this here will be announced. They said I think about 3 days before the Super Bowl. So yeah, we'll see how I guess how that goes. And as far as the Bills Bengals game, if you haven't heard already, it won't be played in Week 18. Game's still pending. I'm thinking they'll play it the following week. In my opinion, this game needs to get played or has to get played per se, because there's a lot of playoff implications within this game. Now, I could see if it was the Colts and the Texans playing. Oh, no. Because the Texans need this deal for the number 1 draft pick. But, I don't know. Let's just say the Colts and Commanders. 2 teams that has really nothing to play for. And they decide to cancel the game, by all means. But we're talking about the Bengals and the Bills. Had that game been played, Bills win, they still the number 1 seed. Bengals win, it makes this things quite interesting. Then you have teams like the Steelers, who I think needs a Bills win or something. It's just a lot of playoff implications is riding on that game. So, in my opinion, I think the game will get played after Week 18. And they'll end up pushing the playoffs a week back. And it'll just be 1 week off from the Super Bowl instead of 2. That's how I'm thinking of it. That's probably the most logical thing that they can do at this point, based on circumstances. And I get it. So yeah, I'm sure they'll let us know here sooner than later on that one. Especially because if they have to do anything, they need to, let people know in advance, right? That would definitely have to take place. So, in the NFC, there are, 3 teams still fighting for the last wild card spot, which are the Seattle Seahawks, the Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers. All have the same record right now. They all have the same record. Green Bay holds the tiebreaker because their conference record is better. Green Bay plays the Lions Sunday night. That's the last game of the regular season. Basically, Green Bay wins, they're in. The Lions, however, can be eliminated before the game even starts. The Lions would need a Seattle loss on top of their beating the Packers to get in. Seattle needs a win and a Green Bay loss. Green Bay, like I said, just needs to win. But nevertheless, doesn't make, things more exciting and interesting in that regard. Because what also makes things kind of chaotic, the 1 seed is still up for grabs. 2 seed is still up for grabs. I think the 5th seed is still up for grabs. Eagles, they lost 2 straight. They're 13-3. If they lose and the Niners win or the Vikings win or Dallas wins, it flips the whole situation in NFC. It just flips everything upside down. Eagles could very well fall to the 5th seed. Very well, that can happen. And I guess this lets us know how important Jalen Hurts is to this team. In all actuality, might make the MVP case for him even stronger at this point, right? Look what they're doing without Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Gardner Minshew is a sensational backup quarterback, but they're not the same. They're not winning. This isn't Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. It doesn't feel like it at all. But it would be a little wild to know that the Eagles did all this work and for them to drop all the way to the 5th seed or not have home field advantage at all. That would be crazy. That would be very crazy. Very crazy. Because the Niners are sitting right there. Minnesota's sitting right there, which I think is the worst 12-4 team in the history of the sport, but that's neither here nor there. But the 49ers have a golden opportunity if the Eagles lose. If the Niners get the 1 seed, they are going to the Super Bowl. Not Philly, not Minnesota, not Dallas. Darn sure not the Giants or Tampa Bay. It'll be the 49ers with Brock Purdy going to the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. If the Niners get the 1 seed, they're going to the Super Bowl. That's it. So, yeah, a lot of jockeying in position there. I mean, in the AFC, I already mentioned, the Bills and Bengals there. Kansas City's in that mix with those 2 teams, too. So, I guess we'll figure out how that plays out. Of course, Jacksonville and Tennessee have a showdown Saturday for the AFC South. Winner take all. And Jacksonville, crazy thing is, if they lose, they still have an outside shot at getting the wild card spot. That's crazy. Chargers of Baltimore locked in at 10-6 there. Just another win by Cincy or another loss by Baltimore, and Cincy wins the division. Chargers will either be a 5th or 6th seed. Leave it at that. New England currently holds the last seed. Miami's right there. Pittsburgh's right there. New England plays Buffalo. That's what makes it tough. Miami gets in with a New England loss and a Jets win, and a win over the Jets. Pittsburgh gets in with a win over the Browns, and both New England and Miami lose. In Jacksonville's path, I have to double check that one, but it would all be irrelevant if they just win. And I think they will win. They will beat Tennessee. I called about 4 weeks ago that Jacksonville will win this division. And in a win and take all game, I'm trusting Trevor Lawrence over Josh Dobbs. Simple as that. So yeah, the NFL playoffs and playoff scenarios are still as wild as it's ever been. And it's never a dull moment because you never know what may happen in adjustment periods and things like that. So we'll officially see this. We'll officially see how the NFL decides how to handle everything here, because this is no ordinary situation. Like COVID, that definitely wasn't an ordinary situation, and somehow they made it work. As scary the initial situation was with COVID and how they tried to make things happen. I mean, NFL has showed they're able to adjust, and it looks like they'll continue to do so. So yeah, we'll see on that. And as far as the number 1 draft pick, it's either between the Texans and my Bears, Justin Fields is sitting. We'll start Nathan Peterman. That should be an automatic loss. Plus, the Vikings got something to play for, so they'll win that game. Texans, if the Texans win and we lose, we get the number 1 draft pick. Otherwise, they'll get in, would be number 2. Either way, I'm excited for my team in the offseason. Got a high coveted, we're going to have a very coveted draft pick. Because a lot of teams going to want Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. A lot of teams, so definitely in a good spot to be in. Plus, got 130 plus million in cap space. I said it before. I am definitely looking forward to March and April. I can't wait. Besides we get towards spring. Can't wait for the offseason. I really can't as a fan. I haven't been this excited in a long time for the offseason. So, I mean, we'll see. We will see. But yeah, well, once again, continuing to play for Damar Hamlin. Shout out to the coaches and players of that game to, not go out there and force themselves to play after, being right there when the incident occurred and basically not watching a man breathe for a long time. That's very traumatic. There is a human element to everything because we are human beings. So yeah, I guess more news that comes along, I would definitely share it, and we'll just take it a day at a time. So continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio and No Offense Network. Follow me on social media at JGoodWithSports, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Saturday, I'm on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, the first pod of the year, with my bros Brandon and Ian. As we get into what's going on in the world, and I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about the Damar Hamlin situation as well, and Chicago-based sports and everything else in between. Then on Sunday, we have our season finale of the Destination Fantasy podcast, which, with this situation here, has made it very interesting for fantasy football as well. It's to the point where I haven't even discussed it with Deshaun and Walt about this situation. We haven't even talked about it because some things are bigger than football. But it's something that we would discuss on air and get everybody's reaction as we do the live show, live on Facebook and YouTube there. So, all right, nevertheless, people, let's get back to the money. Continue to grind. Have a safe day. Stay warm. Until next time, peace.